All right, let's get right into it. We're not just talking about managing anymore, we're talking about architecting. We're talking about designing a new kind of leadership for a world that's being completely rebuilt by technology. You know those old rule books? They're obsolete. It is absolutely time for a new blueprint. And today, we're going to lay it all out.
So let me start with a pretty direct question. Is your leadership style, or maybe the leadership you're currently working under, is it built for a world that's already in the rearview mirror? It's a tough question, I know, but the foundations of business as we knew it are cracking. And the real question is, are you ready to start building on new ground? And that leads us to a simple, kind of brutal truth. You know that old dusty leadership playbook? The one that preached top-down control and these super predictable 5-year plans? Yeah, it's officially obsolete. In a world of constant AI disruption and global curveballs, that old playbook isn't just outdated, it's a liability. And this, right here, captures that massive shift perfectly. On the one side, you've got yesterday's leader. Think of them like a pharaoh, sitting on top of a pyramid, totally focused on one thing, profit. But on the other side, that's tomorrow's leader. They're more like a gardener, cultivating a whole network, driven by a purpose that actually feeds everyone. We're going from directing traffic to growing an entire ecosystem. So look, this isn't about just adding a new chapter to the same old book. No way. This is about throwing that book out entirely and grabbing a fresh set of architectural plans. We need a whole new blueprint to build organizations that are actually designed for what's coming, not ones that are just artifacts of the past. Every great building needs a rock-solid foundation, right? Well, in our blueprint, that foundation isn't concrete and steel. It's built on two core pillars that are absolutely critical for any modern success: your people and your technology. If you get these two things right, everything else has something strong to stand on. Okay, so let's start with AI literacy. And I want you to look really closely at this definition. This isn't about learning to code. It's about learning to collaborate. It's the skill of partnering with AI to make your team, well, almost superhuman. Don't think of it as a tool to just automate jobs away. Think of it as a co-pilot that boosts your team's intelligence, their speed, and their creativity. Of course, having amazing tech is pretty useless if you don't have a culture that can actually leverage it. And that brings us to our second pillar, building truly adaptive teams. This is the 3-step process. It all begins with psychological safety. That's the bedrock, where people are not afraid to take risks and fail. From there, you empower them to make decisions on their own. You cut out all the red tape. And what's the result? You get a culture of rapid experimentation, where every so-called failure is really just data for the next big breakthrough. So once we've got our internal foundation of people and tech sorted, we have to lift our eyes up and look out. You see, even a strong organization can fail if it doesn't get the world it's operating in. This next part is all about that external context, a world defined by relentless change, and honestly, a growing demand for corporate conscience. This is our third pillar, leading through radical uncertainty. You know, the old goal was to have the perfect 5-year plan, to somehow predict the future. That is a fool's errand now. The new goal, as it says right here, is to build an organization that is so resilient, so adaptable, that it doesn't even need to predict the future, because it's ready for any future. It's a huge shift from fortune-telling to fitness training. Now, this focus on resilience naturally makes us expand how we define success. And that's our fourth pillar, investing in true sustainability. Take a look at this idea of the triple bottom line. Yeah, profit is still there, it's essential, but it is no longer the only thing that matters. Future-proof businesses get that their long-term survival is directly tied to their impact on people and on the planet. And listen, this isn't just about doing good. It is the single smartest, most resilient business strategy for the 21st century. Okay, now for our final pillar. And this one might be the most mind-bending of all. For this, we have to look past the walls of our own company, way out to the horizon. This is about fundamentally redrawing the map of your business and, really, your entire industry. Just think about this for a second. Who do you consider your biggest competitor? Go on, get a name, a logo, in your head right now. Because the fifth and final pillar of our blueprint is to think in ecosystems, not in silos. You see, in this hyper-connected world, the company you're fighting today could be your most critical partner tomorrow. Success isn't a zero-sum game of beating the other guy anymore. It's about working together to solve bigger problems, create brand new markets, and grow a pie that's big enough for everyone to get a slice. So there you have it, the 5 pillars of our new leadership blueprint. But this is not just some theoretical model to sit back and admire. No, this is a practical architectural challenge. And it's a challenge for every single one of us, starting right now. Let's just lock these 5 pillars in one last time. Number 1, learn the language of AI. 2, build teams that actually thrive on change. 3, lead for resilience, not for prediction. 4, redefine success with that triple bottom line. And finally, number 5, think in ecosystems, not in empires. This is the blueprint. This is how you build the future. So the blueprint is on the table. The tools, the principles, they're all clear. The only question left, and it's the one that matters most, is this: what will you build?